to our Thrive B&B reception. So part 2 of the house tour.
Separate door for the B&B, so we don't have to cross over, or you don't have to come through our living quarters, and you can go straight up the stairs to your rooms.
So you don't have to creep in and think, oh, I've got to be quiet because they're sitting behind these doors. If you remember from our first video, these double doors are going to be blocked. We're going to knock another entrance through the back here from the kitchen. So this entrance will be totally separate. So I think it's almost going to have more like an Airbnb feel about it for the guests, would you say? So you don't feel like you're in someone's house. It's kind of like a nice halfway, I think that would suit me.
Yeah, it's like the best of both worlds.
This is a funny space in a way. I think this previously was probably like a dining room or something, because the stairs at the back here were quite steep and a bit treacherous. So the previous owners put the stairs in here, which actually works really well for a B&B. It means it can be totally separate, because before the stairs came through the kitchen, so I think originally you had to go through our main front door into our living room and into the kitchen to get to the B&B, which I think even the previous guys thought this is not ideal. It's got some nice features in here. We've got these lovely built-in shelves behind us, the lovely beams. We've managed to find a few vintage finds, haven't we, in a cool little shop. Some wicker bamboo furniture and some lighting.
Well, with our little tiki bar.
Go with this. I mean, like with this, we bought this from the UK, but we had nowhere really to put this in the old house. It didn't really work in the old house in England, but we just loved it.
It's going to work perfectly, you know. We have a vision of it more beside a pool, you know, Club Tropicana.
Yeah, it would be good. You know, maybe if we had parties outside and stuff in the future.
With little cocktail umbrellas, you know.
Topless waiters, you know, all that kind of thing.
We've got vintage furniture to sort of try and tie into the interiors here. Even as we've just sat them in, they work really well. You know, we were worried how they were going to work, but because vintage furniture is often a little bit smaller as well, because the building is more of a traditional little village casa, the proportions seem right. We also had all these amazing art pieces. They were painted by our friend Herbie, and we wanted to fit them in as well, and the colours and the size and even the subject really.
Yeah, it kind of works well as the church bells are going in the background. Okay. This one has got quite a religious theme, which is not us at all, but it's kind of got angels and doves, and it's kind of, somehow they do work.
Yeah, they do.
Because we're waiting for the builders to start, we've got things in random places everywhere. We've kind of tried to style it up so we can live in it and it feels like home. But yeah, I think somehow in the sunshine as well, the colours of the paintings pop, because everything's got the brightness and the lightness.
When spaces are a bit more uninspiring, you think, well, you need to do something to make it a bit more wow.
And I think it's interesting, like with a communal space like a reception area of a hotel, or a B&B I should say, maybe a hotel in the future, I don't know, we'll stick with a B&B for now.
2 rooms.
You can be a bit kind of experimental with things, like maybe Terry will do a bit of artwork, a mural, something like that. I think it will...
I'm not giving that one, in
well,
case it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, it didn't happen.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, we'll never show you and just forget we ever said this, right? But I think, you can be a bit fun things, because you're not having to sit in it watching TV every night and look at it. It's just needs to be a wow space where people come in, check in, and they think, wow, this is cool, So that's the plan.
We want you... What
do we want?
What we want is, when people first arrive, to have that feeling of, wow, we've arrived at Casa Thrive. So here we are in what will become the breakfast area.
It's a lovely big space, I think, isn't it?
Well, it's got this lovely traditional Andalusian style bamboo ceilings, which we love. It needs a bit of TLC, this one.
To say the least.
Obviously it's supposed to be rustic, so we're not expecting it to be perfect. This bar here is coming out. This was a little bar area, which was quite nice, but for how we want to use it, it's got to come off. To open this space up, really, because we want them to be able to sit as close to these lovely French doors as possible. It's lovely. You see, open this, and go straight outside with the wonderful views of the mountains and the church right there. And we found these great vintage chairs. So look at these. What a find.
I said to the guy, are they antiquedades? Which I think, in my very basic Spanish, is antiques. He said no. He said they are brand new. They've just been in the shop since the 70s or something. So they're brand new, but they're obviously vintage really. So we managed to get 6 of these, a shelving unit, a smaller shelf, a planter. If you imagine sitting having your breakfast there, it's quite nice, isn't it? We've also had a bit of an experiment, whether you can pick this up with some colours. It's difficult, we can't really decorate until the builders have been and gone, obviously. So we've had a little experiment here.
Try to warm it up a little bit and try and bring a bit of that sort of warm, sort of natural colours. Colours of Morocco, that sort of look really. So here are the 2 B&Bs, one here, one there.
But that's for another video when the renovations to Casa Thrive finally begin.